There are moments that never make it into the headlines. No breaking news banner, no dramatic soundtrack. Just two people sharing a glance that says far more than any interview ever could. Tonight on Update X24H, we are not chasing scandal. We are slowing down to look at the quiet, hidden moments between Yulong and Yang Mie Mie. The kind of moments that make many viewers around the world whisper, "Whatever this is, it feels real." Stay with us because by the end of this video, you may find yourself looking at your own relationships in a very different way. There are moments when the most honest part of a relationship is not found in words, but in the silence between them. A glance held a fraction longer than necessary can reveal more than any script or interview ever could. When Yulong looks at Yang Mie Mie, it is not the gaze of a stranger, nor simply that of a colleague. It feels like the look of someone who has watched another person grow, stumble, rise again, and quietly decided to stay by their side through each chapter. She does not always answer with speech. Sometimes her reply is a softened expression, a small pause in her laughter, a shift in posture that opens a space only the two of them seem to inhabit. Around them, cameras move, staff call instructions, time presses forward. Yet within that brief exchange, there is a stillness that belongs only to them. In those seconds, a whole conversation unfolds. Reassurance, gratitude, unspoken understanding. For viewers, especially those who have loved and been loved over many years, it is a reminder that the deepest connections rarely shout. They are whispered gently through eyes that say, "I know you and I am here." At the beginning, their connection was defined by schedules and pages, call times, rehearsals, blocking, lines to be memorized and delivered. Yulong and Yang Mie Mie stood side by side as professionals, their main task to bring a story to life for an audience, nothing more. Yet, as months turned into years, something subtle began to change. They no longer needed as many words to prepare a scene. A nod, a brief meeting of eyes, and they understood how to shape the moment together. The trust that first formed on set gradually slipped beyond the boundary of work. They started to share the quieter spaces. A shared umbrella in unexpected rain, long waits in dressing rooms softened by simple conversation, the comfort of knowing that in a room full of people, there was at least one person who truly understood the day you had just lived. This transformation from script partners to quiet companions did not happen overnight. It grew layer by layer through reliability, kindness, and consistent presence. For many viewers, their bond mirrors the way real relationships often evolve. Not through grand declarations, but through the slow, steady shift from someone I work with to someone I cannot imagine this journey without. Not all relationships are written in bold strokes. Some are composed in fine lines, almost invisible unless you choose to look closely. With Yulong and Yang Mie Mie, much of their connection appears in the details that most people would overlook if they only glanced once. There is the way he subtly positions himself so she has more room when cameras crowd too near. The habit she has of checking that his microphone is properly clipped before her own is adjusted. The way he quietly takes responsibility for the more demanding questions in an interview, allowing her a moment to breathe. None of these actions are dramatic, yet together they form a quiet vocabulary of care. For those who have experienced long relationships, this language feels familiar. It is the cup of tea made without asking, the message sent just to check you arrived home safely, the gentle correction of a detail so your story is told the way you meant it. In a world that often celebrates the loudest gestures, their bond reminds us that consistency can be more powerful than spectacle. The smallest acts, repeated faithfully over time, can speak of a loyalty that needs no explanation. Fame does not simply bring admiration. It carries interrogation. Every smile is frozen in screenshots, every distance measured in pixels, every silence given a meaning it may never have intended. Under such scrutiny, many bonds either harden into performance or fracture under strain. Yet somehow Yulong and Yang Mie Mie have chosen a different response. They do not attempt to shout down rumors, nor do they rush to define their closeness for public approval. Instead, they move with a kind of quiet steadiness. When questioned directly, they answer with warmth rather than irritation, choosing humor and humility over defensiveness. When speculation grows louder, they do not retreat into cold formality, but continue to stand side by side, letting their behavior remain unchanged. This grace under pressure speaks of a deeper understanding that not every precious thing needs to be argued for in public. Mature viewers recognize this stance. It echoes the wisdom of many long relationships, where partners learn that protecting what matters sometimes means refusing to let outside noise dictate the pace of their hearts. In choosing calm over chaos, they show that dignity can be its own form of strength, and that the truest answers are often lived, not declared. Applause is temporary. Cameras move on. What remains long after the final scene is filmed is the kind of person you choose to be when the lights are off and no one is taking notes. It is here, beyond the visible glamour, that another side of you long and young Mie Mie begins to appear. Stories circulate of them visiting small community events, lending their names quietly to projects that support young people struggling with self-confidence, anxiety, or the pressures of pursuing a dream. They do not arrive as distant stars, but as attentive listeners. She is often seen speaking gently to those who tremble when holding a microphone. He is the one who stays behind after the formalities, answering private questions with patience. These actions may not dominate trending lists, yet they reveal a shared compass. Their connection is not sustained purely by feeling, but by aligned values: kindness, responsibility, and a belief that success means little if it does not, in some small way, ease another person's burden. For an audience that has lived through many seasons of life, this depth is especially moving. It suggests that their bond is not just about how they look at each other, but about how, together, they choose to look at the world. Fairy tales often end at the moment of union, as if love were a destination rather than a journey. Real life, as many viewers know, is far less tidy. There are late nights, misunderstandings, tired days when even a smile feels like effort. What makes the story of Yulong and Yang Mie Mie compelling is not that they seem flawless, but that they visibly are not. There are appearances where both look weary, where their expressions carry the weight of demanding schedules and private worries. There are interviews where they answer in shorter phrases, less polished, more human. Yet even then there is a thread that does not break. A reassuring touch on the arm. A shared glance that says, "We will get through today as well." This is a love story that does not insist on constant brightness. It allows for shadows, for quiet, for the ordinary. In doing so, it honors the truth that long-lasting affection is built not merely on moments of joy, but on the decision to remain present when life is complicated. For those who have walked through many years of partnership, this imperfection is not disappointing. It is comforting. It reflects the kind of love that grows deeper precisely because it has weathered reality. If this story of hidden moments and unspoken understanding has touched your heart, you are not alone. Many of us at every age still believe in connections that grow stronger with time, not weaker. Thank you for spending these minutes with us on Update X24H. If you would like to continue exploring more thoughtful, heart-centered stories from the world of Asian entertainment and beyond, we warmly invite you to subscribe to the channel, like this video if it resonated with you, and turn on notifications so you will not miss our next episode. Your support means more than you know. Stay well, stay kind, and stay with Update X24H for stories that do not just inform your mind, but also gently speak to your heart.